My name is Rodrigo.
And my name is Miguel.
And well, I'm the captain of this boat.
Really? I didn't know that. So we are doing our Masters in Environmental Science and Management at the Bren School here at the UCSB.
So in our first year here, we saw some boats anchor in front of campus, and we thought that it might be a good idea to live on a boat. So we did some research and we found out that it is free to anchor. You don't even need a license. And so it was way cheaper than renting a room.
So yeah, after the summer we bought this sailboat and we have been anchored here since then. I guess the best part of living on a boat is having no neighbors. Well, besides Rodrigo. Everything is very exciting.
Yeah, I think the mornings are really nice. You wake up and the sun is rising and you just paddle to school. And I don't know, just being connected to the ocean every day is really nice. I think our worst experience here was the first night we were anchored. It was a really rough night, a bad storm. And yeah, actually our neighbor, the boat that was close to us, was washed up on shore. So that was pretty bad. But I guess the good part was that after that night we were sure that our anchor was working.
Oh yes, we survived so far.
So everything we do has environmental impacts. The way we get around, where we live, what we eat. As countries around the world continue to develop and adopt practices that are widespread here in the US, such as animal protein consumption and electricity use. These things have huge environmental impacts, and the global population is only growing and people are requiring more resources and emitting more chemicals and toxins into the environment. So it's becoming an increasing concern for the global population. The big impact that's on everyone's mind is climate change, and this is caused by greenhouse gas emissions, people using electricity that's fired by fossil fuel powered plants, and driving cars, burning gasoline. These emit chemicals into the atmosphere that change the climate and raise the global temperature.
I think that the way we live, we use resources. There's no escaping that. And so each day we use water, we use a bit of land, we take up energy through our food, and so we have an impact. There's nothing free about our lives. I think lately we're seeing how obvious it is that water is important and how much we use, because we're in a drought and we're trying to reduce our water impacts. So for instance, each day I'm reminded by my daughter, turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth. Let's reduce the times that we take showers. And so each day in our normal lives we use water. And I think as you begin to understand the potential cost to the environment and eventually the increasing economic costs of water, how much we actually use. So that's an example of how we need to reduce what we use. In food, we make decisions about what we should eat, and linked to what we eat is the amount of energy, space in land, water, and even fuel that goes into producing that food. And I think we can decide minute by minute, meal by meal, how we might reduce our impact on the environment.
Our society right now is very much set up to provide us with comfort, right? There are so many things out there that make us comfortable. You know, you want your fluffy bed, you want the chocolate at the end of the night to make you feel good. Something that is becoming increasingly clear to me is a big part of the problem that faces us in no matter what issue you want to focus on is that people are too comfortable. We've become used to the fact that we can extract all of these resources to provide us with all this stuff.
So because it's hard to bring things to the boat like food or even water, you start taking a lot more care about it. You don't waste food, you don't waste water or energy because you don't have much here. And it's hard to go to grocery store or replacing anything. So at the end of the day, you don't use as much and you end up realizing that you don't even need that much. And I guess I think that's the biggest mindset change we had, and we adapted to that. For example, as we are not plugging into anything, we just use electricity from our solar panels. We use salt water to wash our dishes. I don't know. So we use almost nothing while we are here, and you realize it's not even that important. You don't even need it. You know, less is more.
Yeah, that's right. For example, we don't normally buy meat, just fruits and vegetables. That's what we eat with rice, pasta, and beans. And our main source of protein comes from going out fishing when the visibility is good. And then we bring the fish, we just fillet it, clean it up. We have a grill next to us. It takes only 5 minutes from when the fish is actually swimming until you're actually eating it. And that is good experience. That can only probably have, that's kind of life that you can only have like living on a boat and not anywhere else. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
These are all issues that are so huge, right? And it feels like, how can I as an individual do anything to change that, right? Like, me not eating meat is not going to shut down a factory farm, or me, choosing public transportation over my car is not going to stop climate change. And a lot of people get there and then just give up, or choose to focus on something else, or just forget about it. And it's really important to not be intimidated by these challenges to the point that we can't do anything, to the point that we feel like we have to disengage. It's really important to be aware of how large these problems are and how small we are, but do what we can and engage how we can, and realizing that no matter how small our impact is, we don't know how big and how much of an impact we can have down the line.
I think on an individual level, we always use resources. That's what we do. But as we have more and more people and populations increase, that impact of even small-scale use becomes greater and greater. And so everybody then has to make decisions to reduce our overall impacts. I think one way to think about it, I try to design my life around the 3 R's, reduce, recycle, and reuse. So if we can think about each bit of material we use, each decision about reusing or not using some resource, or recycling something, then I think we make a positive impact.
If I end up living in a house, and this is what is probably going to happen, I don't think I will want a big house with many things. I will want a small house with a small garden where I can maybe grow my own vegetables and be more self-sustainable.
Yeah, I'm not gonna live on a boat forever, obviously. Here the conditions are perfect. We have the school in front of the ocean, a calm bay, the weather is nice. But at some point I'm gonna move somewhere else, and I don't think I'm gonna have the same opportunity. But when I move back to live on a house, at some point I think I will be a lot more conscious of how much food I buy, how much water I use, because when you live here you realize that you don't need that much. I think that's important. And also when you're here you feel everything from nature, like the wind changes and the waves, and you feel it, and that's something I want to keep doing even if I live in a house. I don't think I have to live here on a boat to live sustainably. It's about your attitude, and that's way more important than being here or in a house or wherever. It's how you approach, I don't know, the environment, and how much you take every day, how much you use.